Welcome back. Odd Garrett is here praising my title, as he should be. He10's Old English Word of the Week. Nonsense. Threepenny is the Old English Word of the Year. What a great word. Who doesn't love threepennies? Hello, Serp. Threepenny. It's 3/100ths of a pound. And this man has been forging them. And appropriately, the penalty for forging a threepenny is 3/100ths of a perjury. So we were just about to lift up the floorboards, find the beating of the hideous heart, or some such. Wait a minute! What are you talking about? Wait. We now have to stop everything. What do you mean there weren't 100 pennies in a pound? How many were there? The metric system? No, metric system, no. Now I know you're lying. Why would there be 200 even though you read the Wikipedia article? What is this? Decimal day. Wait, 1971? That's very recent. Before this date... Wait a minute. Shillings aren't the same thing as pences or pounds? I assumed they were one or the other. A pound was 20 shillings and a shilling was 12 pence. And in 1971, on decimal day, the shilling was abolished and each pound was subdivided into 100 new pence, each of which was equal to 2.4 old pence, abbreviated D for old. Very good. Freaking really? Alright, well I guess he gets a discount on his sentence then. He's only being sentenced to 1/80th of a perjury. It's still the death penalty, but, you know. I wonder if Inspector Gregson has found anything under the floor there. If you round up, it's the death penalty. I'm desperate to know. So am I. No way your penny coins still say new pence on. New pence to distinguish them from the 60-year-old pence? I mean, I guess we don't change our money either. I don't even know what pennies look like. I looked around as if I would have a penny on my desk. Do I? No, my desk is extremely clean. Only things that belong on the desk are on the desk, like napkins and expired coupons, and a lot of soda cans and soda bottles. I'd love to know if there's anything hidden underneath that floorboard there. Allow me to ask Gregson now. After all, we're well acquainted. Inspector Gregson, really? It's been too long. What is it, Sholmes? I thought perhaps you might show me what you found there, seeing as we are such good friends. We're not friends. No, I suppose not. A dismal failure. Yes, I heard. Killed to know what was under that floorboard. But that would be murder. Wait, he just looked and then put the floorboard back and he's not saying anything? Alright then, fair's fair. What? You did discover the hiding place after all. I suppose I should at least fill you in. Really, Inspector? Thank you. Do it quickly, my dear fellow. If there's one thing I know about this man, it's that he blows with the wind, as fickle as the weather. Oi, stop making me out to be some kind of nut. There are 3 items under the floor there. A newspaper clipping, photographic print, a tin box. Not an aluminium box? Now, what do you want to know? The aluminium box, that's what. Now, this aluminium box looks interesting, doesn't it? Might I suggest, Inspector, that you open it? If you were to find something inside that reveals the truth behind this case, I wouldn't be in the least surprised. You were wrong about that, Nathan. The new pence label stopped a long time ago, and you had the Mandela effect memory that it was still present. I see. They stopped making pennies in Canada, right? I feel like they did. I feel like Canada took that step. Probably if I were to take a guess, I would say it's probably been more than 10 years. I'm going to say 2007. Because you used to see, I mean, I guess you still do occasionally get like a Canadian penny mixed in with your change, but it's quite rare now. And I've never seen a British penny. I don't believe they exist. Yeah, funnily enough, I've already had a look. All the new pences are now in the Berenstain. You didn't spell it either of the ways! You didn't spell it either of the ways, Serp. Spelling's the important part. It's completely empty. What? Shamspeare, give us a clue, man! You didn't even have the chance to utter a word, Mr. Naruhodo. But anyway, at least we found out what's inside the box. Yes, thin air. It's empty, rather like how I feel inside. Is there nothing more to this box then? I wonder. Flip it over. Not quite 10 years ago. I'm still kind of close. So, this is the photograph I found. Looks reasonably recent to me. Yes, it will appear to have been taken on the street in front of the house here. And the gentleman on the left is Mr. Garadeb, the landlord, of course. But who's the young man on the right? Mr. Garadeb's son, perhaps? Perhaps. You can take that print if you like. Really? Are you sure? We can presume, therefore, that the Yard already knows the identity of the young fellow, that is. Ah, is that true? Well, it's too bad if we do. Unfortunately for you, lot leaking information isn't one of my pastimes. My dear Inspector, if I may be so bold as to point something out. Pastimes are for one's leisure, but this is for work. All the more reason I'm not telling you. A dismal failure. Yes, I heard. Hidden photograph entered into the court record. I wonder why a photograph like this was hidden under the floor. I mean, Mr. Shamspeare himself isn't in it, unless that's him. Photographic prints are still rare treasures in the East End. I imagine Mr. Garadeb was rather delighted to have been immortalized. He probably made a proud present of it. I guess we don't even know for oh, no, we do. I was about to say, we don't even know for sure that the guy living here knew that those items were down there, but we do, because we found his skin cells all over the floor. Can't flip it over. Very well. Looks like this was a cutout of the paper about 3 months ago. It's about a convict who got sick and died while he was serving time in Manchester. How terrible. He made the headlines down here in London as well. The bloke had been sentenced to death, you see, but nature got him first. Oh my goodness! He'd committed perjury? A man by the name of Selden. His last name will be a pun. Nasty piece of work, into burglaries and perjury. They say the hoard he'd knocked off was worth about 240,000 pence. A hoard of treasure, you mean? No, wait, I did the math wrong. Wait. No, I did it right. Jewelry and the like, but he'd hidden it somewhere in one piece. No one knows where. Now he's dead. The papers loved it, of course. £1,000 lost en route to hell, or some such, was the headline. Does it not strike you, though? Why such an article would be so carefully ensconced under the floor? Ensconced, that's a good word. Wait, is it called ensconced because of scones? No. I suppose now you mention it, it does seem a bit odd. Perhaps I'll go over the paperwork we've got on Selden back at the yard and see if I can turn anything up. Alright, let's read... Oh, well, they're gonna interrupt us with more stuff first, because we progressed. Oh, cat interruption. Those don't matter. I can read the article. Condemned criminal dies of natural causes in prison. Manchester's Strangeways Prison announced the death of convicted murder and burglar Selden, no last name, by natural causes. In the early hours of the morning, he had been suffering with fever since the end of October. Alerted by the shouts of his fellow cellmate, medical staff arrived to find him already dead before his capital punishment could be carried out. I see. I was kidding about the scone. Oh look, it's that lovely little kitty cat. Strangeways. I was wondering that. I was like, I was like, I assume it is. What was its name? It's Mr. Natsume's, isn't it? I don't think we ever asked him, actually. Why don't we call it, Wagahai? You know, like Mr. Natsume refers to himself in Japanese. So wait, but they already... So wait, is this what... Because they had the cat later. So this case took place in between two of the other Part 1 cases, and during this case we found and named the cat. I wonder how he got in here. Clever cat. Breaking Dlanor's rules. Oh, wonderful. Well then, Wagahai, here's something delicious I brought for you from the cat's meat man. Are there men who deliver meat for cats? The same way that mail and milk and such were delivered? Meow. And I thought cats were herbivores. Not back in the 1900s, apparently. It was tough times. He couldn't be happier now. Look, I just hope we can bring some happiness to his owner, too. Freaking don't dig up the carpet. You're scratching it. Probably gonna cough up a hairball next. That was a cheeky little meow, was it? Was it? Was it a cheeky Nando's? But he's so adorable. I could sit and watch him forever. I think he may not appreciate that after a while, and we have an investigation to get back to. We have video games to play. We can't look at a cat. Actually, is there nothing else to look at now? That's the only context in which the word cheeky is ever used, to my knowledge. Nothing new here. New stuff. Ba-ching. Mr. Garrideb appears to be out. Oh, that's... The new thing is that there's nothing new here. Oh well, I'll have to come back later. Alright, go to Le Jail? Le Prison? No. My house? No. His house? No. What do you suppose is happening? It sounds like some sort of disturbance. Yes, I hear angry voices. Be not angry, O ample lady, verily thou art mistaken. Mistaken my foot! You were looking at my painting! The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen. 'Twas foul indeed the poison that mustached villain gaveth me. Forgive me, lady. I wish that you died from that poison. Oh, that's harsh. God a mercy, ample lady, but thou seest I have vigor still. Behold my sham-spear dance. Alright, this looks rather ominous, doesn't it? Ah, lo! 'Tis the lawyer from the land whence riseth the sun. How now, brown cow? What are you doing here, Mr. Shamspear? Marry, I do believe I am returneth unto another ward. He was looking! That's what he was doing, looking at my terrible work. He was looking upon your works, ye mighty, in despair. No, the word terrible isn't in there. Is it? No. Eastern fellow, so dark clad? Alright. Faith, thy work in court this morning was wonderful. I do applaud thee. Oh, well, thank you. But that doesn't mean things will go so wonderfully for you tomorrow, does it? He dropped his iambic pentameter! Anon exunt. Exit stage left. Mr. Shamspear might technically be the victim in this case, but there's definitely a lot more to it than that. It's very hard to pin the man down. I'm so sorry. I'm such an awful person. Miss Green, is everything alright? Oh, yes. I mean, don't worry about me. They're about to discharge me, so I must get ready to leave now. Oh, I see. We're delighted that you'll soon be well enough to go home, Miss Green. Oh dear, you're too kind. I don't deserve it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna peek. Oh. Nothing of note. Really? But it's so important. It's the key to the whole case. So, are you feeling more like yourself today, Miss Green? I am, thank you. I mean, people do recover from ordeals like this, don't they? Even people like me. Well, yes, it really was an ordeal, wasn't it? As far as I was concerned, I was just walking along in the snow one evening, minding my own business. Oh, I should... If I could do Strong Sad's voice. Well, no, that would be annoying. That's too annoying to do for a whole game. And then, completely out of the blue, I was struck in the back by a knife and collapsed unconscious for days. No, I'm not going to do that. Of course, when I finally woke up again yesterday, the whole business had been cleared up already. What a terrible week it's been for you. Oh no, I'm sure I'm very lucky, really. I'll look back on this fondly. Really? Anyway, I must be getting my things together now, so I'm ready to be discharged. Oh yes, of course. Now the limits of Odd Garrett's beliefs are being tested. I was like, it could be a typo. I'm like, but maybe it's not. Maybe Old English is more mysterious than any of us ever thought. So wait, we're just not gonna bother her? We're not gonna talk about the... Can I say? Speak? No. No talking. No talking in Phoenix Wright. Ah, this looks like the treatment notes for whoever's occupying this bed. Let's see. Do not permit to run around the hospital. The patient doesn't seem to be here at the moment, so... He or she is probably running around the hospital then. Oh dear, how worrying. What's worrying is why they haven't discharged the patient yet. Enough comes from that same etymology that it used to begin with Y. Like, so what did he say? Darkly clad. And so instead of darkly clad, you can say dark-clad. Clad in a dark manner. So it's like putting the... So darkly would be the adjective. I mean the adverb. No. The adjective. No. The hell is clad? I mean, obviously it's clothed. Is it a noun? No, it's an adjective. A person can be clad or not clad. It's too complicated. Going back to learning Japanese. Much easier. Ah, this looks like the patient's treatment notes. Let's see. Do not feed. Wow. What is this place, a zoo? You know, I seem to remember seeing an almost identical sign in our local park. For the pigeons, yes, this is a person. Poor woman, I hope she hasn't read this. Getting a little bit of weight shaming in there. There are lots of bottles in that cabinet, aren't there? Do you think it's safe to keep them like that? Hee. If you were a patient here, I feel sure you'd take some medicine by mistake when you were half asleep. That is a worry. But at least the cabinet has a lock, even if it's only a flimsy-looking one. Right, yeah. I was like, what would have made sense in the sentence was saying darkly clad. And so, I guess you put Y in front of an adjective to turn it into the adverb and the other thing into the thing being modified. No, not quite. I don't know. I'm bringing back ekindled, though. It's a great word. We never should have stopped using it. Oh, I've no doubt you'd manage to unlock that somehow while you were half asleep as well. There's some limits even to what I can do when I'm half asleep, you know, Miss Susato. Okay, but what do I do in order to live? Maybe now that we encountered the guy, he will be back at his apartment? Nope. I've already got all of it. If I do talk to him again, it's okay. It's checked because all of his options are checked. So since we got that one little flag just now, and presumably that changed something somewhere, because we've been everywhere. This is going to turn into there must be something... Oh, wait. Does she give... Do I present stuff to her so that we can talk about it? What do you make of this incorrect choice? Oh dear. What indeed? Let me see. If you don't know, it's fine to say so. I won't hold it against you. Maybe she was lying. Unless, can I, like, examine my bed in order to go to sleep? Get smart that way? I don't have a bed. I sleep on the floor. Good. These tanks are for keeping sea creatures. They're called aquariums, and they were all the rage in London at one time, apparently. All of them were a rage at the same time. Yes, the English are so clever, coming up with the idea of having ocean life on display in the home. And it means you always have an emergency midnight feast on hand, too. I'm not sure that's really the idea. Nothing in here but the fish tank. Very well. So we know that Soseki-tan took tea to the victim on the night in question, but as he isn't the culprit, then obviously... That was fuller than I thought. Spilling soda all over. The poison surely wasn't in the tea. But if that's the case, then how on earth did the poison get into Mr. Shamspeare's body? I'm sure we'll find a clue at the scene. There must be something in Mr. Shamspeare's room that will help solve the mystery. Naturally, Scotland Yard detectives have been over the place already, but it couldn't hurt for us to have another look around, I think. Definitely. And I'm desperate to know the outcome of the investigation into the tea left in the bar of soap. Well, if we run into Inspector Gregson, we could ask him about that. So I don't think these are specific hints that she's giving. I think they're not specific to the point in the investigation that we're at. Is there really? Can I... So I can't do anything else. Can I go outside and look at the window from the outside again, maybe? Nope. 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 Nothing. There's the sky. See if it's time to go fishing. London's blanketed in by fog again today, and the sky is covered in cloud. But if you look carefully in the distance, you can just make out the Crystal Tower being built. Good, I'll go fishing there. The Crystal Tower, yes, the centerpiece of the great exhibition that's to open in 6 months' time. Everyone's talking about the Great Exhibition of London at the moment, it seems. Well, it's to be the largest event of its kind anywhere in the world, with technology and scientists from all over. I can't wait for it myself. You think visiting students from the Far East like us will be granted entry? The last great exhibition that was held in London had more than 6 million visitors, it seems. And this time the British are determined to make it an even bigger success, to outdo the Paris Exposition. I see. It's an incredible number of people, and with so many people expected to attend, we should easily be able to slip in unnoticed. There's always the honest approach of buying tickets to the main entrance, Mr. Naruhodo. Imagine that. Imagine having to wait for a country to put on an exhibition before you're like, oh, so that's what's going to be invented soon. Radios? Does he have a picture on his mantelpiece that matches the one? Probably shouldn't poke around in here. No, this machine takes up the entire desk. It's really very imposing. Hurley's great analytoscope, yes. It can analyze anything at all, you know. Oh, can I put something in there? Never seen anyone actually using it. Well, it's his invention, so I don't know how to operate it. Why don't you get it to analyze its own operation, then? Because of the halting problem, that's why. Ooh, Bruno, you're razor sharp today, aren't you? Nothing in here is going to progress the plot. But then what? Something in here. I missed something in here. I can't present anything to her. Can I... No, if I go like this, do I get the option to... No, I can't present anything. Oh, why do I keep hitting that? Bother cat some more. And yeah, it won't let me present. Blarg. I feel like either here or the hospital I've already thoroughly checked both of them, though. There wouldn't be anything here. No, they don't even let me examine the jail. The prison. I guess I'm gonna talk to her some more. Quite a shock earlier today, wasn't it? When the victim himself turned up in court and took the stand? I know. Is there something wrong with this can? Am I not to blame? Usually everything that I do wrong is my fault. But There isn't like a piece missing from it or something? What happens when you give up drinking? I guess. Not only that, but then finding out he's actually a barefaced gas thief as well. Yes, that was certainly a surprise to us all. For a while, it seemed as though everyone had quite forgotten about Suseki-san poisoning the tea. Careful of your phrasing, Susato-san. He didn't poison anything. And there's more to this Mr. Shamspear than we yet know, I'm sure of it. Mr. Shamspear certainly wasn't the noble, upstanding man everyone thought he was at first. What's become of him, actually? I was told he'd be returning to the hospital ward where he was receiving treatment. Oh, which one is that? Oh no, did something happen? I hope everything is alright. Let me see. Ah yes, he's at St. Bartholomew's, or Bart's, as Londoners call it. We know that place, don't we? Yes, we visited Miss Green there yesterday. It's the same hospital to which she was taken. Ah yes, after Soseki-san stabbed her in the back. Do be careful of your phrasing, Naruhodo-san. He didn't stab anyone. Perhaps we both owe Soseki-san an apology. Potential heart attack if I was a near miss. Well, I guess I don't spend a whole lot of time on foot, so I don't have that many opportunities to be hit by a car. Although I guess I could get hit while driving. That could happen. We should probably visit the hospital. Kazuma's wishes. Anything special here? Kazuma Asogi, the best friend I ever had, and a lawyer with such promise. He really saved my bacon in that horrible incident just before we left Japan. Flashback. I can still picture him now, looking so fierce and determined in court. And then after the trial, that crazy idea he came up with. As a stowaway? Yes, you can fit inside my trunk if you curl up small enough, I'm sure. No one will know. Kazuma, won't you tell me why? Why go to these lengths so that I can accompany you to Great Britain? Well, it's been on my mind since we got through the trial. That you really ought to go into law. Be a defense lawyer. You've got a natural talent for it. Believe me, I guarantee it. But I've never even thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, I can't force you, obviously. You'll have to decide for yourself. But anyway, London is the cultural capital of the world, the city at the forefront of everything. It can't hurt for you to see it with your own eyes. No, that's true. I suppose, though, if you were to become a lawyer, then one day... One day what? Oh, no, never mind. Naruhodo-san? Oh, sorry, I was just thinking about Kazuma. Yes, he's forever in my thoughts, too. To change the Japanese judicial system for the better. That was his dream. And that's why he so desperately wanted to come to Great Britain to study, of course. Yes, that's right. But... Did I tell you, there was one time I was it was when I was going to RPI. I was walking up whatever road, and I was on my way to the Union, and you can either cross 15th at the corner, or you can go over and cross like in front of the Union, where there's also a crosswalk. And there was a guy next to me, nobody that I knew, just we were both walking, and for no particular reason I was like, I'll take a right and I'll use the crosswalk, you know, that's right in front of the Union. And I turned to the right and I took 2 steps, and he had crossed there and he got hit by a car. Which I think was okay, but I mean, his head did crack the windshield. He did get hit pretty hard by somebody who was taking the left onto 15th and didn't look. Which is just one of those things. Like, I mean, well, no, I was to his right, maybe, so maybe I wouldn't have gotten hit. But I would have gotten hit by a car had I not done that. I do wonder if his true intentions lay elsewhere sometimes. I don't know. The thought just takes hold of me every now and then, that's all. Oh no! Was this actually how you progressed the plot? I had to go back and talk about Kazuma? Naruhodo-san, what do you mean by Kazuma-sama's true intentions? I mean this. His katana? I never expected to inherit this sword after Kazuma passed away, of course. Inherit is a strong word. Grave robbing, really. He didn't give it to you. No, I know. It was because I asked you to take it. When I have it at my side in court, I feel as though it gives me courage. Yes. Actually, the night before he died, he told me a little about the sword. Karuma. That's right. It's a prized sword that's been passed down through generations of the Asugi clan. A Japanese man's sword is his soul, Ryunosuke. I can't be parted from my katana. Karuma guides me. I truly believe that. So its name compels the wielder to slice evil in two? Not that you would need much compelling. On that subject, there's something very important that I have to do in Great Britain. Something you have to do? Yes, that's what I just said. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you. I knew you wouldn't let me down. What did he mean by something very important that I have to do? I had hoped that the answer to that question would become apparent when we arrived here, but as yet, I've not found a single clue. I see. Now? Has the sword... I've released the true power of the sword, and it's my protagonist waves are boosted. Surely, walking to one of these places will cause something to happen now. Come on. Come on! Do it! Appear, typewriter! Type your words! Freaking guy. Oh, there we go. So that was actually it. I'm trying to think. Has it ever been necessary? Because it's a standard Phoenix Wright thing to have a place where you can go and talk to whoever it is that's following you around. Usually Maya in the early games, and then what's-her-name later on. But where if you go back to like the Phoenix Wright Law Office, what's-her-name will be, whoever you're with will be there, and they'll say like, what should we do next is the only thing you can talk to them about, and it'll just be like a vague hint towards what you're trying to accomplish in this overall section of the investigation. And it's never mandatory. I can't think of any time when they've ever had you go back and talk to your companion there for something that advances the plot. So this is a first, and that's why it eluded me for so long. Why I went back there and I'm like, oh, there's things I can talk about. Oh, Mr. Natsume is back. So he is. Mr. Natsume, hello. I am a cat. Sorry? I don't know who Mr. Natsume is, or Herlock Sholmes. I don't know about courts or trials or Old Baileys. I am a cat. That is what I am. Just a cat. Waga Haiwan Neko Des. This is his famous book. Mr. Naruhodo, he's trying to escape from reality. Trying to? He already has, completely. So, what is your name, then? As yet, I have no name. Mr. Naruhodo, he hasn't fully thought out his new identity yet. Maybe it's not too late to bring him back to reality. Tequila Sunset. Do you think you could open your eyes for us, Mr. Natsume? Cats don't have eyes. Oh, there we go. He's back. I am not a cat. It worked! He's back in the real world. What's going to become of me? No! Don't answer that! It's obvious! My accursed soul is never going to escape this accursed fate! Mr. Natsume, no! This morning's proceeding in court proved there's hope. There's hope. Yes. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire was brilliant, but the Reaper is omnipresent in court, in my lodgings, here, there, everywhere. What's he looking straight at me for? I think perhaps there are some things we should discuss. Oh, yes, we must. Alright, let's right away present the picture. Who's that? Mr. Natsume, it's nothing much, but... it's been too long since I've been offered a present with that delightfully humble etiquette of our homeland. What? You're too kind. I accept it gladly. Sorry, but I wasn't trying to give it to you, actually. Anything else? What about this? You ever heard of Selden? He has. What's this? It's a newspaper cutting that we found in Mr. Shamspeare's room. So he knew, did he? Sorry? About this man, Selden. A convicted killer and the evil spirit behind the curse that afflicts my lodgings. What? He's already taken one young man's life, and now he's trying to take the life of another, a miserable mustached, much maligned Japanese man. Mr. Natsume, if you know something, please, you must tell us. Tell us everything you can about this evil spirit. And then I asked him about it, again. The truth is, I didn't know the details myself until very recently. That Selden Ring man was arrested about a year ago now, and at the time, he was hiding out in the lodgings at Mr. Garradeb's house. What? He lived where you do now? That's right, yes, exactly where I live now, in my very room. Oh my, your room was previously occupied by a criminal found guilty of a capital offense? Before his sentence could be carried out, he died in prison. That was 3 months ago now. And that's when it started. The curse. What really is this curse you keep mentioning, Mr. Natsume? It's already caused one death. A few months after the criminal passed away in prison, a man died in the room. The man who rented it after Selden, in fact. The poor lodger. He was found dead in mysterious circumstances. The room was locked from the inside. Locked from the inside? Exactly like the case we're dealing with now. So that's the convict's curse, is it? Yes, well, that was the start of it. Do you have any idea how the lodger before you passed away, Mr. Natsume? The official cause of death was asphyxia. When they had discovered the body, the room was full of gas. Gas? I only found that out after I'd signed the lease. When Mr. Garradeb came to tell me later, I couldn't stop myself trembling. In fact, if I'd known beforehand, I'd probably have been too scared to take the room. Landlord's lease, luckily legal. Lucky for Mr. Garradeb, maybe. Not so lucky for poor Mr. Natsume. And now you believe this curse is affecting you. It is. At first, I just felt as though I was being watched all the time. And then you talked about having nightmares, didn't you? The dead are trying to take me with them. They come for me and try to suffocate me. Just when I'm struggling to breathe, I wake up. The room is as cold as ice. But why is your room so cold? London winters are too cold to bear without any heating on overnight. But for some reason, even though I light the stove before I climb into bed at night, the pilot light always goes out and the room fills with gas. That's not a curse. That's called suffocating due to gas. I'm a doctor. But that's terrible. That's exactly the same situation as what led to the previous occupant's death. And then there's what happened to Mr. Shamspear last night when he was mysteriously poisoned. There's clearly more to that incident that can be explained with a curse, though. Whatever can be the cause of all these strange happenings in Mr. Garrideb's rooms? That rotten Shamspear, what have I ever done to him? You don't recall him taking issue with you over anything you've done recently? It's like there's the time that I dressed up like Juliet and punched him in the face. I've been holed up in my room, immersed in books. I don't recall anything at all. Right. But what I don't understand is why he didn't let me know sooner. Let you know what, Mr. Natsume? About the soap, of course. What else? Oh dear. Are you struggling with such a meager stipend? Of course I am. If I had money, I wouldn't have chosen to live in a cursed existence, in such accursed lodgings. Oh yes, you said it's because the place is cursed that it's so cheap, didn't you? Exactly. Especially the room I'm rent. The spirit of that capital offender who lived there still haunts the place, and it's trying to kill me. Capital offender? Might I ask, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, the next time you visit me, you bring scores of super soft soaps. So I guess if we hadn't shown him the thing already, that would have been the hint that, hey, show him that thing about the capital offender. In my whole life have I ever been so moved as I was today. No! Of course, if I cast my mind back, there were perhaps one or two other occasions that moved me more. But if I just block those out, then today, being in that courtroom was the most moving experience of my life, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. You're too kind. Scotland Yard found the remaining tea just as we deduced and are analyzing it as we speak. There's nothing wrong with that tea. They won't find a drop of poison in it. That's a solemn swan Soseki certainty. Tell me, did you both drink the tea at the same time that night? We know they didn't. What? What? Oh yes, most definitely. Remember, drink tea while it's hot. We both poured it down our throats like it was a hot bath for our bellies. And at the time, you were both completely fine, as shown by the fact that he and Mr. Shamspear then engaged in the Romeo and Juliet match. I suppose the focus of tomorrow's proceedings will be how the poison was taken by the victim, then.